The next step in the process of building your business has to do with time management and planning. Many of us are procrastinators, and when you sit down at your desk and you want to work, there's distractions. You've got Facebook, or you've got email, or people are texting you, and there's various things that will eat up our time easily. And it's more fun to do the fun things and set aside maybe procrastinate things that aren't quite so fun. So I want to help you have some ideas on how to actually plan your business. And you'll need to sit down and actually have a pad of paper and a pen and start just to list everything you need to do in your business, and start to list off, about paying taxes once a quarter and what the deadline is for that. When do you pay your employees? When do you pay yourself? When is the bill due for your linens, for example? Or when's your rent bill due? And when's your phone bill due? And have a list of all these things you have to do. And usually it's about the same time every month. And make yourself a calendar and make reminders up in your calendar for those things to pop up and say, oh, your rent is due. And so my calendar, every month it pops up with a reminder, pay your rent. And so you can do that for yourself, but list everything out you can think of in your business and the frequency that requires, and put that into your calendar specifically. Make an appointment with yourself. When you have downtime, again, spend that on your brand building, spend it on advertising, spend it on networking and talking to people and getting the word out. But don't just waste your downtime. Don't sit there and read a magazine or read your Kindle hoping the phone's going to ring. Use that downtime. You also want to protect your family time. So, I recommend for people when they're in business, if you let your family time subside and you really want to spend time in your business, what ends up happening is you work so hard to make an income to support a family you no longer have. And I don't want to be preachy to you, but treasure your family, treasure your personal relationships, and make those a priority. But to do that, you have to schedule time in your calendar to make sure those things don't go by the wayside. Too many of us let our families slip and slide away from us because we're so focused on business and we're so intent on making that successful. By the time we're successful, we've lost all that's important to us. So take the time to make that a priority for yourself in your schedule. But for yourself, have a list of also what things can you do when you do have downtime. So when you find yourself an extra half an hour, go to that list and think, okay, what can I do that's going to help build my business? When you have your paper out and you're making a list of things to do, you're going to have a daily, a weekly, monthly, and yearly type of plans. So when you go through and you start to make your list, a daily list might include, cleaning the toilet, emptying the garbage cans, wiping down the sink, or watering plants. A weekly list might include prepping the dirty laundry for pickup by the laundry service, or on Wednesday mornings or afternoon pickup, you'll be dealing with that. You're dealing with payroll on a certain day of the week, or every other 2 weeks you'll be dealing with that. Maybe sending thank you notes to your clientele or paying invoices. On a monthly schedule, you might be dealing with paying your monthly payroll deposits for your employees, the money you've deducted from the checks, paying rent, working on personal day-long planning sessions. Just take time for yourself every month or even once a week to plan and set time aside for yourself to really organize yourself. And I find that those businesses who don't take the time to organize end up being the ones who fail because they're so busy with the minutia. They're so busy with all the small things that they don't plan for success because they don't plan at all. So planning isn't just your business plan that you worked on. It's going to be your day-to-day, your week-to-week, your month-to-month plan. And if it takes paper and pen and putting a clip on the wall to hold that for you, so be it. But find some way for you to have those lists out for you to stay on top of things and not get behind. I would also encourage you to use your downtime to work on content. That might be a book that you're writing. And again, if you're writing a book or a magazine article, or you're writing an e-zine, or you're writing an ebook, those times when you're not working with clients, start creating something and create some product. But don't write big books. Don't spend your time on massive projects. Have shorter projects that are more bite-sized for folks to take and to get their teeth into and to hear more about your product. Again, use your downtime to create. I also suggest that the first 30 minutes of every day you spend just alone with a pad, paper, and a pen, or whatever you want to do, and make a list for what you're going to do that day. And I find that 30 minutes of planning will actually make you more efficient the rest of the day. And some people say, well, it's easier for me to spend the last 15 minutes before I go home at night to write down what has to get done the next day. And they have a piece of paper on their desk, not digital, nothing else. They write it out and they have to cross it out once they're done. And when it's not done that day, they rewrite that the next day on a piece of paper. Go through that list. The next day, whatever's not done, they rewrite that the next day. If you have the same piece of responsibility or a project that keeps getting rewritten and rewritten, that means you're probably procrastinating. So have a list every day, maybe before your day is up, you write down, or start your day that way. But again, to be organized and to be efficient, you have to plan, and that's going to require a piece of paper and your thoughts every day.